While we wait for the likes of Marvel's Midnight Suns, are you looking for a game that lets you outrun a speeding train, leap buildings in a single bound, and look completely dope while wearing a cape? Well then, any one of Xbox's incredible superhero games should be just what you need.
It doesn't matter if you're talking about the best superhero games, movies, or stylish yet practical utility belts, you're just not going to get very far without mentioning the Batman, whose place in gaming history was secured forever in 2009 with the release of Batman Arkham Asylum. With their free-flow combat system, Rocksteady took us away from button bashing and towards the sort of slick, strategic hand-to-hand combat befitting a Dark Knight. As you zip between enemies, throwing punches, kicks, and batarangs in one seamless flurry, you really do feel like the Batman. Often outnumbered, almost always outgunned, but never outmatched. That alone would have made this an all-timer, but you then add in a stellar voice cast and gorgeously grungy comic book aesthetic and a sprawling cast of characters that only got sprawlier in the sequels, and you've got one of gaming's greatest ever trilogies. You can play the first 2 chapters in beautifully remastered form thanks to the Return to Arkham package, while the closing chapter, Arkham Knight, is available via Xbox Game Pass.
If you're looking for something hotter off the press though, Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy is easily one of the best superhero games we've seen in recent years. It takes full advantage of today's hardware to render the series' cosmically colourful world in all its eye-popping glory, made all the more vivid with HDR10. Throw in some ray trace lighting effects to make those spaceships really shine, and variable refresh rate compatibility to keep things running smoothly even when Star-Lord has totally lost his chill, and you've got a superhero game so pretty it could stand right next to Chris Hemsworth without feeling self-conscious. What a handsome man. And it's not just a pretty face either. Combining fast gunplay with tactical team building and some surprisingly emotional storytelling to make for an intergalactic adventure like no other. It even won Best Narrative at the Game Awards last year. That's how great this game is. But best of all, it's available now via both Xbox and PC Game Pass.
From something brand new to a bona fide cult classic, Prototype showed us what a superhero game could be if it focused a little bit less on the hero part of that equation. You play as a man named Alex Mercer, who awakes one day with no memory and a set of seriously gnarly superpowers, which quickly turn the whole city of Manhattan into one big sandbox. Slice your enemies in half, run along the sides of buildings, and gobble up random passers-by whenever you're feeling a little peaky, as you wage a one-man war on the organization who did this to you, as well as anyone else who happens to get in your way. So, if you fancy dipping into your dark side, both Prototype and its sequel are available via backwards compatibility.
But if you're looking for a more colourful take on your favourite caped crusaders, grab something from the LEGO toy box. Just don't go for LEGO Batman. He only works in black or very, very dark grey. Over the years, both Marvel and DC superheroes have been given the LEGO treatment in various games like LEGO Marvel Superheroes 2 and LEGO DC Supervillains. As usual, you'll find each game stuffed full of Easter eggs, slapstick humour, and just a huge number of characters. Everyone from Captain Britain to Captain Cold have turned up in minifigure form. They might not be the most canon-accurate adaptations, but they sure are a whole lot of fun, especially when you tag in a friend to fight crime together.
Yeah, as much as we love the intricate plots and soaring emotions of superhero stories, sometimes we also just want to watch really strong people punch each other in the face. And fortunately, both kinds of DC fans are covered in this regard with the Injustice series. For those who like their comics detective, the Injustice games provide a spandex-clad spin on the Mortal Kombat formula. Expect the same tightly configured arcade fighting mechanics, with perhaps just a smidge less brutality in the fatalities. Just don't mess with Aquaman. Drawing from both the fabled halls of the Justice League, some of whom have gone off the deep end, and their rogues gallery of villains, Injustice 2 features a roster stacked full of iconic characters and an enthralling story. Plus, it's available now on Xbox and PC Game Pass.
If you prefer to have some brighter colours on the go while you bludgeon your opponents, drop a coin into the Marvel vs. Capcom series. It builds on Street Fighter's impeccable foundation, with classic characters like Ryu and Chun-Li joining those from across the wider Capcom verse to take on Stan Lee's finest creations. So, you can see which demi-demon looks better in leather, Dante or Ghost Rider. Or you can have Doctor Strange take on Sir Arthur for more of a Dungeons & Dragons feel. Or put the Bionic Commando and the Winter Soldier in a room together just to see what happens. Spoiler alert, probably a lot of violence. These are the sort of matchups we all whiled away hours dreaming about as kids, and now you can see them play out in spectacular style thanks to Marvel vs. Capcom.
If the whole superhero craze has got you feeling just a little bit cynical, then maybe a little bit of South Park's scorched earth satire is just what the Doctor ordered. The Fractured But Whole sees everybody in that cozy little mountain town swept up in superhero fever, with each kid taking on their own costumed alter ego in the hopes of landing a film franchise. As the new kid in town, naturally you decide to do the exact same thing, because if there's one thing you should always give into, it's peer pressure. Once you're suited, booted, and superpowered up, you're free to embark on another zany South Park adventure filled with exciting turn-based battles, hilarious dialogue, and an unending onslaught of obscenity, offensive material, and miscellaneous crimes against humanity. Great.
For a similar outlandish take on the spandex-clad genre, we turn to the unlikely heroes of Saints Row 4. While this was once a Grand Theft Auto-esque series about street-level crime, each sequel took it a few more notches away from reality until we got the no-holds-barred insanity of Saints Row 4. Which starts with you becoming President of the United States, developing superpowers and using them to repel an alien invasion in the Matrix. Just like in Prototype, the superpowers and sandbox combo creates endless possibilities for chaotic fun. That said, if you do find yourself longing for the days of a slightly more grounded Saints Row experience, and slightly is the operative word there, the most recent Saints Row is now available too.
As much fun as it is playing as iconic supes like Wonder Woman and Superman, at a certain point you're going to want a chance at designing your very own, which is exactly what DC Universe Online gives you the chance to do. This free-to-play MMO lets you design your very own hero from cape to cowl, configuring everything from their body type to their powers and personality, as well as whether they fight for the good of all mankind or just use their abilities to steal giant diamonds and stuff. Both pretty noble callings in my eyes. The superhero world is a busy place too, and DC Universe Online is only ever getting busier thanks to a steady stream of new content that ensures you'll always have some new villain to thwart or evil plan to hatch.
And finally, you can't really go wrong with Earth's mightiest heroes, can you? Marvel's Avengers is a third-person action RPG in which you take control of this elite squad of superheroes. You can call down thunderbolts as Thor, rack up bullseyes as Kate Bishop, or pounce on your enemies as the king of Wakanda himself, Black Panther. Cape or no cape, they all look absolutely incredible, especially on Xbox Series X and S, where the game has been souped up to include high-res textures, heightened frame rates, and even more detailed destruction. Thanks to the continued series of story expansions, you'll get to explore every nook and cranny of that also-expansive Marvel universe, and, most importantly of all, you'll get to beat up bad guys all over it too. And while flying armor suits and vibranium shields might not exist just yet, a piece of futuristic technology known as an Xbox Game Pass subscription will let you play the game right now without spending another penny.
If great games are your kryptonite, then stay well away from all the ones we just mentioned. Otherwise, fire in. Got a superheroic fave that we didn't mention? Let us know all about it down in the comments, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more insider info. For example, have you noticed how much Batman looks like Bruce Wayne? Just something to think about. Bye.